Stock market returns are never guaranteed. But when we do research and proper analysis, we do get the edge in the market. But risk management cannot be ignored. The US market keeps on climbing. The S&P 500 gained 0.59% and Nasdaq 100 jumped 1.25%, continuing the last week's positive momentum. Meanwhile, the sentiment remains stuck in the extreme greed territory, with the fear and greed index reading at 75 again. But what's more interesting is the Roundhill Ball Metaverse ETF has officially broken out the rounding bottom chart pattern that we discussed last week. Is this the beginning of a new rally? We will break it down. Sentiment, momentum, global cues, macro updates, and then jump to the charts for technical analysis of S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 so that we understand the price action and possible support and resistance zones. Sentiment and momentum update. The S&P 500 is well above its 125-day moving average, signaling a strong upward momentum. The put-call ratio, 5-day average, is at 0.64, showing very bullish skew. VIX, the volatility index, has plunged down to 16.4, down sharply from post-election high of 60. This kind of low VIX level is often associated with complacency, not fear. So bullish sentiment and momentum are still strong. But remember, high greed often precedes volatility in the market. Global market highlights. Let us now check other global markets, how they have performed this week. UK's FTSE 100 up 0.57%, Germany's DAX up 0.14%, Japan Nikkei 225 up 0.63%, Seng jumped by 2.84%, India's Nifty 50 was down by 0.72%. Asia outperformed this week, especially Hong Kong, while Europe remained almost flat. India saw minor profit booking after recent jump. Key macro and Fed watch. Let us now look at the major economic updates. US Treasury yields fell slightly. 10-year at 4.42, down 4 basis points. 2-year at 3.87, down 4 plus basis points. University of Michigan sentiment rose to 61.8, highest since February 2025. But inflation expectations fell sharply, lowest since February. Meanwhile, in the UK, inflation spiked to 3.6%, higher than expected. This raises the risk of more tightening by Bank of England next month. So while US inflation looks under control, other regions are still struggling. ETF spotlight, Metaverse ETF. One big technical highlight, the Roundhill Ball Metaverse ETF is now decisively above neckline of rounding bottom pattern. It's up 6.4% this week, showing early signs of trend reversal. We discussed this breakout setup in the last week, and now it's confirming strength. This may attract more long-term and theme-based investor. Watch this space. Chart analysis. Now let us move to the price charts to undertake the technical analysis of S&P 500, Nasdaq 100. At the same time, I'll show you the price action on Metaverse ETF, that is Roundhill Ball Metaverse ETF. Let us start with the volatility index, that is VIX. It has reached to the level around 60 in the month of April, and now it has come down as low as 16.4. So the volatility is very less in the market. This is the weekly price chart of S&P 500, which finally closed at 6,296.79. So there is a breakout of a cup and handle kind of pattern in a larger time frame with respect to the prior impulsive wave. Considering the size of the candlestick, back to back for 2 weeks, there is a loss of momentum already visible on the price chart. So where it can go and then pullback may start. So here is the prior impulsive wave, and this was the area of minor consolidation. So this can be considered as a breakout. So if we project the target based on the prior impulsive wave, Then the next level of 61.8% expansion comes at around 6,380. What does it mean? That it might go up to 6,380 to 6,400, and then pullback may begin in S&P 500. Now this is the daily price chart. When pullback starts, where will be the support? This is the area of resistance where the price struggled to go past it, and then there was bigger correction, and again this area price consolidated, took resistance, there was a pause. So 6,000 to 6,100 is the demand area, and in this zone we have EMA 55 as well, and the neckline of that cup and handle pattern that we discussed in the weekly time frame. However, the intermittent support as on today is 6,200 level, which is coinciding with EMA 21. This is the weekly chart of Nasdaq 100 index, which finally closed in this week at 23,065.47. We discussed in the last week regarding this rising trend line, which is acting as a dynamic resistance. So there could be a possibility that the price may get rejected from this trend line and correction might start, or pullback might start, not the correction exactly, but the pullback might start. At the same time, if you see the price action over here, this is again the area where the price consolidated. If we project the level using the Fibonacci expansion tool, that level comes to 61.8%, 23,460. So this is coinciding also with rising trend line, which might act as a resistance. That is where the pullback may start. This is the daily price chart. Already we can see some loss of momentum with a small body candlestick pattern and consolidation little above the EMA 21 level. There is an existence of a gap over here at 21,871, and this is the area where the price earlier took resistance multiple times. So this area becomes a good support for Nasdaq 100. This is the monthly price chart of Roundhill Ball Metaverse ETF. What we can see, there was a massive downtrending move, and then there is a breakout of a rounding bottom pattern. It is not only the breakout of the rounding bottom pattern, but it was trading for a long time in this channel, and there is a breakout of the rising channel as well. So if you see the height of this rounding bottom pattern, which is nearly 140%, so there looks to be a good potential on upside with this breakout of Roundhill Ball Metaverse ETF. Conclusion. To sum up, US indices are strong, but sentiment is extremely greedy. Market momentum favors bulls, but watch VIX and earnings season surprises. Stay disciplined and always remember, stock market trends reward skill, not just emotion. To master market structure, price action, charting technique, explore our full playlist, Zero to Hero. Link is given in the description below. Learning never stops with DK Sinha.